If you're trying to start working out in your 30s or otherwise, it's okay to focus on what you like to do. If you like to do legs, do legs. If you like to do back, do back. I think it's more important to get into the routine of going to the gym, and then honestly, the rest will just follow. Just this weekend, I met some friends and I was reminded that honestly, it's never too late to hit the gym. Everyone has their own schedules and priorities, and we're all just doing the best that we can with what we have. So if you have any questions about the gym or exercises that you should be doing, do leave a comment down below and I'll try to answer what I can. Also, it will be helpful if you could subscribe to the channel so I know at least I'm helping someone with these videos. For today's workout, we are focusing more on the back and the chest. Then this is one of my favorite machines that does both, and I like to do both the chest fly and the deltoid exercises here. Generally, I don't think you should go too heavy on this machine, but instead try to focus on the stretching of the muscles so that you really engage the muscle at the end of the motion rather than letting the weight rest at the end. Next is the lat pull down machine, which in my opinion is one of the must-do exercises in the gym. When I do this exercise, I try to let the bar go as high as possible so that it really stretches out my lats and also my shoulder muscle area. So when I pull it down, I also ensure that I do not swing my body or move my body around as much, but just try to keep a gentle arc on my back with my chest facing upwards and try to let the bar touch my chest. This is also one of the safer machines where you can go a bit heavier and try to train for strength as long as you don't swing your body too much, and also focus on bringing your elbows down rather than trying to pull the bar down. So I would actually recommend this machine that is pretty low risk of injury, and you can actually do drop sets or pyramid sets with this. Next is the cable chest flies. It's not an exercise that I usually do because in the gym the cable machines are usually taken up and there are a few people sharing it. And it's actually a very good exercise for your chest because when the hands go back, you actually stretch the pectoral muscles all the way up, and this actually promotes a lot of growth. One thing to take note of is to try to ensure that your forearm and elbow are touching the cable, or at least in line with the path of the cable. This reduces the risk of injury where, for example, if you lose control of the weight, the cable may actually pull your arm backwards suddenly, which may actually twist your arm or your shoulder in the wrong way. Nonetheless, I try not to go too heavy on this exercise, but instead to focus on the stretching of the pectoral muscles and to ensure that I get the movement correct. I mean, it's also not necessary for you to always do heavy. It's possible to go for a higher rep range instead with a lower weight. And of course, I had to take advantage of the cable machine and do some cable lateral raises. And this is actually one of the most humbling exercises in the gym because you have to go all the way back to the lowest weight just to do this exercise. But this is actually one of the most effective exercises for the shoulders because your shoulders are actually engaged from the start of the motion as compared to when you're using dumbbells, where you actually lose some of the tension when your dumbbells are lower, like at your hip area. But as with all exercises with the cable machine, there is always a risk of injury. And so I try not to go too heavy on this exercise, and I try to go for a higher rep range and slower reps instead. For comparison, I also did one set of lateral raises using free weights, and while I noted that I was able to do heavier weights, the motion was more haphazard and less isolated. So generally, I try not to do too many exercises for the same muscle group within a session, but I think for this session, I reduced the number of sets in total and also the weight that I was lifting so that I could do a variety of movements to kind of get the muscle growing in the different ways possible. So in particular, this exercise focused more on the upper chest, while earlier the cable chest flies was actually focusing a bit more on the middle and the lower chest. One thing that I do want to bring to your attention is that you can always adjust the seats or the equipment for machines in the gym. And as you can see, for this chest machine, I actually use the orange knob behind the seat to push the seat forward so that when I'm pushing the weight up, my chest, my pectoral muscles are actually stretched a bit more when it's in the resting position. And this is what I like about machines. Not only do they reduce the risk of injury, they also allow you to adjust the seat or the equipment or the machine to suit your body type and your preference. Like if you want to stretch more or you want to stretch less, or you're more flexible or less flexible, it allows you to just exercise as long as you're comfortable. However, not all machines are adjustable or may be adjusted to suit your body preference. Take this machine for example. Unfortunately, you cannot adjust the chest pad, and I can only adjust the seat. And so if you are too tall or too short, the chest pad may instead become uncomfortable, as it may be pressing on your stomach or too high on your chest onto your neck. And one thing that I learned from using this machine is that you can actually reduce the risk of injury by lifting up the weights one side at a time rather than both sides together. This avoids injuring your shoulders, especially if you have not properly warmed up. And as I had a bit more time today, I decided to do a bit of the Stairmaster for cardio and also to train the legs. Was it tiring? Yes. Did I feel like dying throughout the exercise? Yes. But honestly, the Stairmaster is one of the most functional exercises that you can do, especially as you grow older. And after the session, I decided to weigh myself again to check my progress, and I was glad to see that I lost about close to a kg over the last month, which was okay given that I've been cutting actually. Some people have asked me, why do I take creatine? Is creatine really necessary for your workouts? And personally for me, after consuming creatine on a regular basis, especially for workouts, I have felt a significant difference in the way I exercise. Prior to taking creatine, usually near the end of my workouts, I always felt a bit, hazy or like brain fog. After taking creatine, I started seeing an improvement in my performance. I was able to do more reps, heavier reps as well. And near the end of my workouts, I won't really feel that same brain fog or haziness. But instead, I would know that, I'm tired simply on a physical basis, like my muscles were aching. And honestly, it has helped me to recover a bit faster and better from my workouts. And so I'm able to keep up with having 2 to 3 times workout sessions a week without these workouts, affecting the other parts of my life with, increased tiredness or fatigue or muscle soreness. And so if this video has helped you, do leave a like, comment and subscribe so at least I know that, my videos are helping people and reaching out to people out there.